Testing 1, 2.
Your mic good.
Do I wonder who's very, very pushy? Okay, guys, hopefully you can put this up here. Maybe I just don't get to get too far away. It is unusually cold here in South Carolina. Thus, I'm bundled up. This horse came out of New York yesterday. He's not all that cold at all. I apologize in case you haven't. And he's here because he's been really difficult to handle around the barn. His owner, 16 years lucky kinds of things. So we shall see how this goes today. I am guessing that watching what Tiffany just did, that my microphone is not working. So I'm going to step back, do a little work. Tiffany can narrate for you guys so you can hear. And I'm just going to start to feel this horse out. I'm going to start with my 3 B's, specifically boundaries first, then bonding, and then I'm going to just sort of see what we have.
So Julie, he was just pawing right there. What does that mean to you?
To me, that just means he's a little impatient. He's a little bored. So my correction for that is just asking for him to back up. You have been watching since. I have been sharing with Tom concepts and the overview idea that the AHA process is mild. And that stands for mindset, mine more so than his. And that's the insight from the herd. You've already heard me talk about that today. That's where I look for the explanation of the behaviors that drive horses. The L is leadership, and that's what we're really going to be working on some this morning. And that's where my 3 B's come in, my boundaries, bonding, and bravery, and the ability to lift his feet. Who moves whose feet, if you remember, is how we get our leadership in place. And then the last is D. That's our dialogue. That's to make sure that I'm not telling my horse all the time, that it's a two-way conversation. So here, one of those tools I use regularly is there. It happens to be my dog. And my other dog is headed over there as well, kind of in the woods a little. So he's observing that, but I'm not going to let him change the subject. I'm just going to move his feet back. So observation being a really key piece in the dialogue component. I'm going to move out a little bit, let his feet move. I'm going to start in the leading position and switch over to the driving position, and Tiffany's going to do a little bit of narration. Hope you guys enjoy this new format, and I hope our technical ability works. That doesn't make sense, but all right, you.
So something you should see is while Julie's handling her horse, she's got a nice smile on her rope. You see that big loop? It makes a smiley face from her arm to his head. You always want to lead on a loose line like that. And the horse should maintain the smile in the rope. So you walk faster, he walks faster. You walk slower, he walks slower. Instead of pulling your horse with you, you and your horse are walking together. So just remember, whenever you're leading, to keep that smile in the rope. You see her using a lot of her tools, the wiggle rope backup. That's for boundaries. Always important to establish boundaries when you first start working with a horse. And there was the horse handshake, just extending her hand, fingers curled in. Then the horse has the option to either touch your hand and sniff a little bit. When he does that, he's like, okay, you know, fine. And then she goes into scratching, kind of like a bonding. And then he went over, and not sure if that was a like, I don't like you scratching, or so that was a bite, not a let's mutually groom each other. So now she goes back in again to try to find that itchy spot. And really, when you do this bonding, is for a horse you're not sure, you want to show them that you have value. Hey, look, I can help you scratch that spot. And, you know, they start to try to develop a little bit of a relationship with you. There's the chicken arm, extending those elbows, keeping, you know, the horse out of your personal space. Now you have the wiggle rope back up there. And then the stick Julie's using right there is really just an extension of her arm. So it's just pretending to make her arm that much longer. That's all that the stick and string, that's typically how that tool is, just as an extension of your arm. So she's asking him to move over, move that front shoulder out. How cute.
So you can explain, wasn't really where I was leading, and then he just overtook me. So I was saying I was leading. I'm working. The horse wanted to sort of blow by me, and he's not ready for the correction of not do that. I'm still in this observation mode. I really want him to have a chance to press himself to me and move his feet. So as he went to go by me there, I just let him shift into driving position, let him go, and then got a hind quarter. So I'm going to go back to leading on his right side, working out of his right eyeball.
That's asking the front shoulder out.
Yeah, and I would really like to just be leading, but he keeps scooting ahead. There we go.
Here's him coming out of the leading, and Julie's just like, you know, no, you were leading. And what she's trying to do is keep him on the same eye. So that's why she was using her stick. She was working in one eye, and she was trying to keep him from going behind her and switching eyes on her. There you go. She's trying to push his head out again and keep her right eye. Right eye. There she is again, asking him, you know.
That's sort of see her. I'm starting to get a little bit of space.
There she is asking him. There you go. I want to stay in your right eye. So in your observation, would you think that he is more dominant or more comfortable?
One thing, we talk about bound and bravery. Well, I need my boundaries and bonding to work on to help him with bravery. Here this morning, I'm certain you can hear. We have rapid gunfire going off. We do live near some land where people can shoot, but it's just firing and firing. And so that might be one of the triggers for him. And I just wanted to say that is an auditory thing we're having to deal with. And that's life. You can hear it go there. So in addition to, I'm probably asking him more specific things than he's been asking. He wants to position me out of his left eye. That's just where he's more comfortable. Many horses are more comfortable with people on the right hand with our right hand. In this case, I need him balanced on both sides. And I'm going to ask him to go back over. That was lovely. But not forward. Don't run over our camera person. Thank you. So when I start that wiggle rope, That wiggle rope means backwards. It does. Good boy. And this part of it is also bonding. I've set my boundaries, and doing nothing is a good exercise in bonding. I'm just chilling out here, doing nothing, breathing. I got my hip cocked, my knee bent, kind of like a horse that's chilling. My shoulder is to the horse. I'm not full frontal facing him. Not together. I'm paying attention, making corrections. Using that dialogue here of observation. I'm observing, and then I'm either accepting what he's doing or I'm taking an action. That's a key piece under the dialogue component. Good boy. If you think about it, 2 days ago this horse was in New York. So this is kind of a big change, a big trip for him. He's never traveled this far. He's in a new location with horses and people he doesn't know. And, you know, so I'm pretty pleased with what we've got on this side. Went into some of my to mount. Now he has done some of this groundwork before with this owner. So I expect there's some things there, but there's no shoulder there. Just wants to come right in with that shoulder. Good job. I'm just going to keep the pressure. Shoulder. There's the shoulder. Wait on him here, see if he can find a way to slow down.
So far, all Julie's really asked for him to do is, you know, yield the shoulder and go out. She didn't really ask for any of the trotting or anything like that. He gave that to her. He did do a nice little hindquarter there, though. So she's really just wanting him to go out and, you know, at a walk would probably be the most ideal.
Oh boy.
Look at that looking at you.
He's just pushing and pushing on his boundaries. Yes, I am. I'm pushing and pushing. Lean into her. Does she notice? All right, I'm going to offer her out to the side. Nope, don't come forward. Offer out. Out. Thank you.
There you go.
Better.
Nice.
Much better. Beautiful. Shoulder out. Much better. Leg quarter. And then back up. Good boy. Good boy. Ready? Try the other side.
Ah.
Please bring my head and shoulder top of you. Holding his breath. Step back, cutie patootie.
So there, you know, he didn't try to go out at all. He just said, I'm going forward, and really having a harder time giving space. He really wants to come in. See that?
Thank you.
There again. She said he didn't want to give her the right nostril. He changed sides again. That's offering, the horse handshake. Good little looking shoe there.
Nice sideways. Thank you. So, all in all, you guys, I feel pretty good about what we've gotten started with. The information that I've gathered from our training session this morning is that he doesn't really understand boundaries yet. When he does understand them, he likes to push into them. And he just has a typical young horse drive to want to climb that hierarchy, to ask who is in charge here. And I just have to keep reminding him that that's me. And so we'll be doing some more work, but because he's made a nice shift, he's gotten more settled, he's allowed me to move those shoulders a bit more. The hindquarters are excellent. He's happy to yield those. Worked around me in a nice circle, wasn't pulling or bolting or anything. I'm going to call this good and end while things are nice and let him go back to his paddock and have a break. So we'll pick this up again tomorrow and let it get settled. Dragonfly Farm, home of Aiken Horsemanship Academy, and help him over the next month or two turn into a much better citizen for everyone to handle.